Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video like up. As the golden rays of summer 2025 bathe the town's quiet streets, something magical is stirring behind the scenes of Hallmark's most beloved frontier drama. When Calls the Heart, the series that has captured the hearts of millions with its warm values and timeless storytelling. It's gearing up for a brand new season, and the whispers coming from set hint at change, courage, and yes, deepening love. Season 13 isn't just a continuation, it's a transformation. As filming officially began earlier this July, cast and crew gathered on the iconic set. Reunited under the hopeful gaze of the old water tower and schoolhouse. Ready to take the next emotional leap into storytelling that stretches the very soul of Hope Valley. This time, everything is different. The characters are evolving, new bonds are forming, and in the background, old choices will come full circle. Let's begin with the heart of it all, Elizabeth Thornton. For years, Elizabeth has been the emotional compass of this small town. The teacher, the mother, the widow, and now the woman on the brink of a new adventure. When season 12 closed, its final curtain, she was no longer in limbo. She had chosen Nathan, but what seemed like a love story finally fulfilled was only the beginning of a deeper test. Season 13 opens on the edge of transition. Elizabeth, Nathan, and little Jack have decided to temporarily relocate to Cape Fullerton, where Jack's newly diagnosed diabetes can be treated by specialists. But this isn't a permanent goodbye to Hope Valley. In fact, much of the coming season will balance their new life outside town with heartfelt moments that pull them back, emotionally and physically, to the community that shaped them. For fans wondering whether Hope Valley will lose its cornerstone couple, the answer is a resounding no. While Elizabeth and Nathan navigate co-parenting, chronic illness, and the strain of distance, viewers will see their bonds solidify. Nathan, 4. The first time is stepping into a full-time father role. And it's not always smooth. The writers have leaned into the challenges of blending parenting styles. And one early episode is said to feature a powerful confrontation between Nathan and Elizabeth about what it means to protect Jack, not just his health, but his emotional well-being. Meanwhile, Elizabeth's teaching spirit hasn't faded. Even in Cape Fullerton, she finds herself drawn into a small children's hospital reading program, leading to one of the season's most poignant mini-arcs. Through her interactions with sick children and struggling families, Elizabeth is forced to re-examine her calling. Is she a teacher in a classroom, or is her heart meant to reach further? Update: back in Hope Valley, the stories unfold with just as much intensity. Rosemary and Lee Coulter are settling into life as parents, and the honeymoon period is over. The baby, now a curious toddler, begins to show signs of developmental delays, sparking fears that force Rosemary to confront her own expectations of motherhood. It's a vulnerable and powerful storyline, especially as Rosemary turns to faith for guidance and finds herself confronting past trauma she never addressed. Lee, meanwhile, is being drawn into a surprising storyline involving politics. Town council is expanding, and a mysterious businessman from out of town is pushing for industrial development near Hope Valley's mines. Lee, always a voice of reason, finds himself torn between progress and preservation. In one pivotal moment, he'll have to choose whether to protect Hope Valley's charm or risk losing it for a promise of prosperity. Speaking of faith, her journey this season is a deeply personal one. After years of tending to others, Faith finally begins to ask herself what she truly wants. A new character, Dr. Julian Meyer, a neurologist who arrives in town on a medical rotation, brings an unexpected spark. He's worldly, compassionate, and shares Faith's passion for healing. But his arrival also stirs old emotions, especially when Carson is mentioned in passing. Fans of the Carson-Faith arc should prepare for bittersweet echoes. But ultimately, Season 13 is about Faith choosing for herself, not waiting for a man to define her path. Meanwhile, Mei Su is finding her voice in more ways than one, now running the pharmacy full-time. Mei has become a quiet but powerful presence in town. But her storyline this season dives into her past. When a letter arrives from her estranged sister, Mei is forced to confront the family she left behind and the secrets she's kept hidden even from herself. A surprise visit leads to some of the season's most emotionally raw scenes. As Mei navigates loyalty, forgiveness, and the strength it takes to belong on your own terms, little Allie, Nathan's spirited niece, is growing up fast. And this season marks her transition into adolescence. No longer the mischievous child in braids, Allie is now a young woman asking big questions about identity, family, love. Her friendship with Oliver Garrett deepens, leading to her first real emotional crush. But with Nathan busy in Cape Fullerton and her growing independence, Allie begins acting out. A key subplot involves Allie sneaking off to attend a music performance in a nearby town, sparking a search party and a powerful father-daughter moment between her and Nathan. It's these small, intimate moments that continue to define the soul of When Calls the Heart. Fiona Miller also returns this season, bringing with her fresh energy and a new storyline that many fans have long awaited. She's investing in a communication business, not just the barbershop anymore, but a telegraph and radio expansion. Her finger on the pulse of a changing world, Fiona begins to dream of connecting Hope Valley to a national communication line. But as always, progress comes at a cost, and an old flame re-enters her life, warning her not to lose the simplicity that once gave her strength. And yes, Lucas Bouchard is back, having vanished for much of season 12 after the emotional fallout with Elizabeth. Lucas's return will be slow and shadowed by mystery. He's no longer the man we remember. Rumors hint at political entanglements, debts, and something darker that followed him home. Season 13 sets up a redemption arc, but not the kind you expect. Lucas won't be chasing Elizabeth anymore. He'll be chasing peace, purpose, and, perhaps, a second chance, but with someone entirely new. This new dynamic has Hearties buzzing with theories. One of the most talked about rumors is the introduction of a widowed journalist named Clara Avery, who arrives in Hope Valley to report on rural resilience. Clara and Lucas share a few early scenes in which their emotional walls slowly begin to crack. While it's far too early to say whether romance will bloom, fans will be watching closely. Minnie and Joseph Canfield are also stepping into new light this season, with Angela growing in confidence and preparing to attend a prestigious music school. Minnie finds herself torn between letting her daughter go and protecting her from a world that still sees her blindness as a limitation. A touching subplot involves Minnie organizing Hope Valley's first town recital, not just to showcase Angela's gifts, but to remind the town that difference is strength. And in the background of all this emotional tapestry, the town itself is changing. A new mayoral election is on the horizon. Rumors swirl that Hickam may throw his hat in the ring again, but this time he's not unopposed. An ambitious newcomer with ties to the railroad company enters the race, promising jobs, progress, and modernity. The town will have to choose between tradition and transformation. Even the schoolhouse sees change. With Elizabeth absent, the town brings in a new interim teacher, Miss Tabitha West, a known-sense educator from the city with modern methods and a brisk attitude. Her arrival causes waves among the parents and students, and her stern teaching style clashes with the nurturing atmosphere Elizabeth built. Over time, however, Tabitha's own story begins to emerge, and like many before her, Hope Valley softens her edges. As all of this unfolds, the show remains rooted in its values: community, courage, and the resilience of the human heart. Season 13 is shaping up to be one of the most ambitious, emotionally rich seasons yet. Rather than relying on flashy plot twists, it digs deep into human experience, exploring what it means to grow, to heal, to fight for the place you call home. Filming will continue through late autumn, with cast members sharing quiet glimpses of their work, a foggy morning on the bridge, a candlelit scene at Abigail's Cafe. A silhouette of Elizabeth reading under the stars. Fans should expect a mid-2026 premiere, likely around spring, continuing the tradition of bringing comfort, renewal, and inspiration to screens around the world. As always, When Calls the Heart is not just a television show. It's a sanctuary, a place where hope lives, where love is patient, and where the human spirit never stops finding a way forward. So, as the camera rolls and the prairie wind whispers across Hope Valley, one truth rings clear.